answer for yourself. What do you have to say? Thank you, Tony.
Wow, you heard it here first.
You heard it here first.
My little Tone is back on my lap.
Oh,
my little sweet boy.
I'm in a place of total rearrange.
Yeah, you've really
I've leveled up. I've become sort of an interior designer.
You know what you're having is you're having your Fab Five moment.
Yeah.
You're queer-eyeing yourself.
I'm having my discovery that I actually have somewhat good taste.
Yeah.
Actually decent, very good taste.
Yeah.
And I am having the confidence to say, over there.
You're Karamoing your space. And I'm really proud of you.
Thank you. Simon and I we made a TV room. We are making our living room sort of like a Berlin
salon.
Thank God I have him.
Yeah.
Because
that helps when you're doing interior decoration. Having a world famous artist and furniture designer as your husband really gives you a leg up over the competition.
I go.
You go, I have incredible taste.
Incredible taste also.
Yeah, so that's great.
How's your first week of 40?
It's been good. Yeah. I got a mammogram today.
Iconic.
They squeezed my tits individually into a machine.
Did you lock eyes with the nurse?
I let her fondle me. She said, let me move you. And you just kind of have to give your body and arms and one tit at a time to a nurse.
Did you go?
And then she's like, I'm gonna put your like breast into this tray and then compress it down. So they basically like compress it down like a sandwich. No, it feels kind of good.
You went,
I went, whoa.
Can I schedule a mammogram for next week?
She was like, I'm going to compress it slowly. It's going to pinch. So I guess like some women with like huge jugs, probably like it's Brittany. A bit uncomfortable, or like Paige Woolen. I'll bet when she gets to the age where she needs a mammogram, perhaps.
She loves putting it in a little tray.
But like, I was wondering, I was like, will my tits fit in the tray? But then I was thinking of very like girls with even smaller breasts than me. What happens if they can't squeeze your tit? They're probably just like, you're fine.
Yeah. They give a little miniature tray.
They give you an Andes mint.
Yeah.
And they say, get out of here, you. Get out of here, kid.
Take a lolly.
No, it was like, I guess this woman said that some people are really like, she was like, you hear horror stories about I was like, what? Like, this is the easiest thing I've ever done.
The name is intense.
A mammogram? You hear a mammogram and you think the worst?
No, I just think it's like, I think they're going in, you know, like I hear the name and it sounds a little severe. Like colonoscopy sounds severe.
An oscopy, any sort of oscopy sounds severe because you know it's inside you. But like,
I think it's good.
A gram is like a picture.
I think you having I think women deserve one thing that's not that invasive or hard.
Yeah.
You guys have to do a lot. But you have to do like pap smear.
You have to do everything.
Yeah.
You're like have so many things, holes, tits.
Men have to wait till they're 40 and then they can get fisted.
Fisted by a tiny little camera.
Mm-hmm.
But then women get to do that too.
But men, and I understand, you know, men.
Why do they say women wait till 45, men wait till 40? That seems stupid.
Yeah, I don't know. It's men, it's such a big thing for men. Like it's such a intense thing. Like men who don't.
They act like they're the only ones out. No, I know,
but men who have never had like something in their ass, or like, they take a day to recover, they sleep, they're out of commission for a whole day. It's like, all right.
Well, you have to like drink this liquid that clears you the fuck out. I think it's like that's the worst part.
Yeah, it's the magnesium.
I think you just like shit your dick off, and then you get like the teeniest of cameras in your hole.
I think it's the prep. It's very intense, but it is funny that like dads.
Men love to act like they're the only ones getting colonoscopies in this world.
Yeah, but it's like, you know, Try taking a cock up the arse.
Yeah, try taking an 8-incher.
Seriously.
Yeah.
And talk to me when you do.
Talk to me when you're excited and happy about it.
Yeah,
because you will be.
You will be.
You were born for this.
Yeah.
I say.
Baby, you were born this way. Literally.
I'm just like very weirded out about the idea that someone would be like terrified to get a mammogram because of how not weird and like truly regular it was.
Individuals who
I don't know. This woman, the technician, was like,
I think
such horror stories.
I think people are afraid of. I think there's a very real and it's an understandable phobia of the doctor.
Yeah,
people have a fear of mortality.
Well, give that up because you are gonna die.
No, I know, but I think everyone they go into the doctor with the worst case scenario in their head a lot of times.
I know, but with a mammogram, you literally won't even find out till later. So no one's gonna tell you in the moment like you're fucked. Like you just wait.
Mamie Gummer is short for mammogram.
Mammogram Gummer. She should promote mammograms, honestly.
Does she work? She books.
Isn't she married to Mark Ronson?
Grace Gummer.
Oh, okay.
Who was in? Was it Mamie Gummer or Grace Gummer that was in Ricky and the Flash?
I don't know. I don't remember.
Luis is slaying.
Yeah. So.
Well, good for you.
If you're 40 or older, just get.
And you have a clear bill of health.
Yeah. Next stop, Prenuvo.
Yeah, I'm really. When I saw Kim Richards do it, I was like, damn, that's my cue.
I know. I've seen now like so many influencers, comedians are getting Prenuvo. Like I'm feeling really left out of the Prenuvo fam. And if you're listening and you work for Prenuvo, DM because Carrie and I want to get scanned.
We'll do a free promo. We'll do a live.
We'll literally film each other getting MRIs.
Yeah.
I'll literally show my entire body to the world from the inside out.
Have you ever been in an MRI?
Yeah. I've had a few MRIs.
Same.
It's whatever. It's like not that crazy.
No.
Nothing is really that crazy.
I mean, it is, I guess.
Also, sorry to any people who are sober, but like if you're not sober and have no substance abuse issues, use it as an excuse to get fun drugs and like enjoy the ride, baby.
Enjoy the ride.
Yeah.
Enjoy the journey.
Take a Xanax, take a Valium, get fucking faded. You can like watch Netflix and MRIs.
Yeah,
now.
I remember the first one I ever did. I watched A Christmas Story in a pair of goggles.
I was just laughing this weekend about. Because I went to the dentist recently to get like a filling, and then I had to get like a bonding something or the other, and I really can't take the like sounds on my teeth. So I was like, you need to fucking give me the nitrous. Like it is what it is. Like hook it up.
Mm-hmm.
And do you know how much they charge for nitrous? They charge $250 to hook you up to nitrous.
Did you do it?
Yeah.
$250?
Yeah.
You're like, I could literally.
I was like, I could go to the fucking lot and get like 2 fat balloons for $20. Like you're literally, I know that this is a highway robbery. Like I know enough about nitrous to like know that you're charging an arm and a leg for this. And then after I paid, I was like, I just kept going, I don't feel it. I don't feel it. I don't feel it until they jacked it up all the way because I was going to get my money's worth.
And then you felt it?
And I felt that I was high and watching Sex in the City, and I was like, this is fucking incredible.
That's the only way to watch Sex in the City is on nitrous. Which one?
I started at season 1, episode 5, I think, and then just kept streaming. Time flattened out, and I was like, I could do this fucking shit forever.
Did you see the photo of Rosie O'Donnell and Cynthia Nixon in Times Square when Rosie is wearing like a Wicked shirt? Rosie looks like
they're about to punish us for Che Diaz by giving us something even worse, but to that I say, do your worst, because my body and soul and pussy are fucking ready for Rosie's lesbian energy on SATC.
You know, Rosie was like, I only want to do this if I can literally play myself, because she goes to Broadway like every night of the week.
Really?
Oh, she's like she's
a big old Broadway head.
Yeah, she's always been.
She loves Wicked.
Barbara was her. You ever watch her show, her talk show? Barbara is her like complete idol.
Okay.
But she goes. I think she saw Hamilton like 9,000 times. No, I think she saw it hundreds of times though. Like I think she's like a
wow.
It's like, you know how there's people that go to Disney World every week. Like she goes to Broadway.
Broadway is her Disney. Yeah. I respect that.
I do too. She knows what she likes.
She's a Hamilton les.
She's a Hamilton
they
lesbian.
Exist.
But I'm hoping that Miranda like develops a friendship with her, an unlikely friendship with this lesbian who I'm imagining her as like a woman that like lives in North Jersey with her elderly mom, and like never really came out, but is sort of like,
that's a good storyline for her.
Kind of like a Rosie from Ro and J, who's sort of, you know, slowly waiting for her very Catholic mother to pass away before she like blossoms. That would be my plot. And Miranda like,
you know what I would love?
What
is if they went back to like seasons, almost like I would say 1 through 4 Sex in the City, where they just, all the girls are like dating different people and they have some sort of issue that pops up that everyone experiences a version of. And I hope that Rosie is just like a 1 episode character, like that Miranda dates and it's like really funny and whatever. I know that won't happen. No, absolutely not.
She'll be in every episode.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah.
But I would love if it was just like a one-off.
I mean, I'm just glad that in my life, Rosie O'Donnell has fist bumped me.
When
I worked on that Netflix show, she was in the grand finale.
Love.
And we were backstage, and I said, "My last name's O'Donnell too," and she went,
"The tie that binds." Maybe you're related.
We probably are, because she's from this area that my family came from in Long Island.
You need to do like one of those shows that traces your ancestry.
Who do you think you are?
Yeah, and find out like who your common relative is.
I'm pretty sure we probably are from.
Are you Googling, am I related to Rosie O'Donnell?
No, but she's from Long Island, and that's where my grandfather's from. So
what if she's your cousin?
She probably is.
I love that.
I think the O'Donnell is weirdly not that common of a name, and which I always thought it was, but it's not in Ireland.
What about Chris O'Donnell?
Probably.
I think that you should figure out your relationship to Rosie, and then we get her on the pod.
Okay.
That's your homework.
She seems unwell, but
I'll take it.
We'll have her on.
Yeah, I don't give a shit.
Yeah.
The more unwell, the better, honestly, for me.
I mean, I watched that show every day. Her talk show. My mom, it was like, that was like me and my mom's show.
I love it.
Her fake crush on Tom Cruise.
Her lavender crush on Tom Cruise.
The Daily Mail is starting already with Suri Cruise. She's 18 now, so they took photos of her jogging in the park. I was like, you guys need to be...
People need to leave Suri alone.
Leave her alone.
Unless she's an actor, like, there's really no excuse to be following her.
No, it's sick.
It's weird.
It's fucking weird.
Unless
weird
she's, like, calling the paps on herself.
No, I don't think she is. And it's weird to see, like, they make sure to say 18.
Yeah, it's kind of weird. I've been noticing that, too. Like, it pops up, and I just feel, at first, old.
Oh, I feel... The fact that Suri Cruise is an adult is, like, scary. But I'm like, leave her goddamn alone. She's already being followed probably by Scientology. What, your eyes widened? No,
I'm seeing Amanda Knox is guilty again. Foxy Knoxy back in the news.
Yes.
She was reconvicted of slandering a bar owner.
In Italy?
Who hasn't? In a case related to the tragic 2007 murder of British student Meredith Carter. She attended the court in Italy for a retrial in the hope she could clear her name once and for all. Blah, 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 blah.
Didn't she say she'll never step foot in Italy again?
Well, I guess she had to go to this fucking trial.
Damn. And she was found guilty. She was convicted.
She wrongly accused this bar owner after being put under intense police pressure for hours, adding she'd been scared, tricked, and mistreated.
I mean...
I never want to go to Italian court. I'm just going to say that right the fuck now.
She was put through, like, torture.
She was put through hell.
They told her she had HIV. Like, they were really fucking with her.
Yeah.
So... I think she went through a lot, but I also think the girl who got murdered, her family went through a lot too.
Yeah, it sounds like this bar owner's family, or he went through a lot. Because then people were like, we don't want to go to his bar.
So she accused him of being involved? How many people were involved in this goddamn thing?
Too many.
That one guy, didn't she accuse a black man of being involved and then he wasn't?
That's this guy.
Yeah. Oh,
well, there might be another guy.
She just kept being like, him. Him.
They're like, bitch, this isn't America. You can't just be throwing black people under the bus here without some sort of repercussion.
Yeah.
Mi spiace. Spiacente. They go, I'm sorry.
She brought her America to Italy of like profiling people.
But also I'm like, can you just let it go now? Like this was literally 15 years ago.
That's crazy. I remember when she got...
Like I'm kind of like...
I watched...
If you can't get your bar together in 15 years and we all know that you're not the murderer, that's on you, doll.
Yeah, I think like she's a good scapegoat for Italy. I think Italy
loves to hate her.
She's like Baphomet.
God, I truly hope that no one dies when I'm in Italy.
And then you get accused.
And then I go through like the Foxy Noxy years.
La Befana, the Italian, she's the witch like old woman who delivers gifts to children throughout Italy on Epiphany Eve. That's literally Amanda. I'm also just like, oh my God, she's in Seattle. We should have her on the show.
I know. We're like, hey girl, sorry about everything, but want to just totally switch gears and talk about something completely unrelated to your life?
I'd like to hear her thoughts on Bravo.
Me too. I wonder if she engages. I'd love to hear her thoughts on Vanderpump Rules. God, Italy, let it go. Get a new fucking grift.
You've got enough problems in Italy, I think. Right?
What? Do you know that I have a traffic ticket out for myself in Italy? And they sent me...
You have a warrant?
I don't know. They sent me like a whole
You're literally going to be her.
I am.
You're gonna get thrown into
I got to figure it out. They sent me a thing. I think they caught me on camera. The car that I rented, I wasn't driving it, but my friend was driving it, and I think was speeding. They caught our asses, but they sent me a whole letter in Italian, and I was like,
Mi spiace.
I was taking like language tutoring lessons at the time, and I was like, I'll just fucking ask my tutor about this, and then I forgot, and then now I'm like,
I'm crying.
I'm full knots.
I need to see this. Release the tape. Like I want to post the tape.
It was like, in giorno è 45 mile kilometers, 100 kilometers.
I forgot you rented a car.
I was on the move. You have to go fast. Do you know how fast everyone else drives?
Wait, so you were driving around in Italy?
Yes.
Do they drive on the R side of the road?
Yeah, they drive on the regular. Okay. But what they do is like...
Were you in a teeny car?
No, I couldn't do teeny. I got like a Jeep Cherokee. But like, if you're in the...
Wait, I'm imagining you in like a Fiat, like
that's what I'm gonna rent this next time around.
Spanish steps, like in that big roundabout.
Like National Lampoon's European Vacation. Lots of roundabouts.
Beep 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 beep. Toot toot, and then the
toot toot. I have the luggage like strapped to the top,
and then the Italian policia arrive on their little Vespa.
I know they're gonna take my ass to jail and like slap me in the face until I admit to my faults.
Who drove? What friend did you let?
Nitty. She drove to the airport, so I'm pretty sure it was like on the way to the airport.
How fast do they drive? How many kms?
You have to drive so fast because like if you go... Like the left lane is truly for speed racers. And if you get in the left lane and you're not driving as fast as everyone else, the Italians, they go, zoo. You see them in the distance, you see someone coming, and it's not, you literally have seconds to get over.
It's like Mission Impossible.
They will drive up this close to your car and they'll be like, zoo, and you have to get the fuck over. And then they'll be like.
My dad said that because my dad used to go to Germany for business, and he said on the Autobahn, it's like when you're in someone's way, they'll fuck you up. Yeah.
Yeah. So you have to stay in the right lane pretty much at all times unless you want to like pass someone. But if you're in the left lane, you've committed to a life of speed.
Are they fully? I feel like their like torsos are fully out of the window going, ah, you know.
They're like,
motherfucker.
But also it's crazy because you'll see someone so far in the distance and you're like, they're coming. And then they will be on your tail in 1.5 seconds.
Did you parallel park in Italia?
Yeah, I did.
I would be so scared to park.
It was very easy. I parked in like a spot that was like not okay. And then an officer said something, but I was like...
No. What are you going to say? You're like... You could be from Sweden.
I know.
Spacente?
Spacente.
Spacente.
Oh, that means like you're welcome.
Policia.
Mi scusi.
Mi scusi, policia. No. No, speaker.
Buongiorno, polizio.
Buongiorno, polizio. Scusi. Dios mio.
So yeah, I that reminds me, I need to figure that out.
Yeah, we don't want you in
what if I can't be in Italian jail dealing with like car drama?
You end up in Puglia.
That's where my ticket is. Puglia.
Isn't that where Amanda?
No, she was on the other side.
Verona.
Well, prayers for her. I hope she.
I pray for you.
I think she'll be fine. I'm sure.
Yeah, just don't.
What do you have slander? What do you pay fee?
Stay out of Italy.
I mean, thank God they don't have those kinds of laws here, because slandering a bar owner is all I've done for the past 10 years.
Yeah, I mean, didn't they say that you can get? Isn't there? Oh wait, what country has? Was it Japan that has like cyberbullying? Like trolling. You can go to jail.
I think that they have like crazy things.
Give it 10 years, it'll be here.
But a podcast.
We're the first.
Podcasting is different. Yeah, we're locked. If Trump wins,
we're the first. He's like threatening people he's gonna throw in jail. We're the first to go.
He like links with Lisa Vanderpump and gets us thrown in the slammer. JLo's canceled her cursed tour.
She kind of addressed.
What'd she say?
On her website, she said, "Hi everybody, I just found out some great news and it's all because of you. Atlas is #1 worldwide again this week. Thank you all so much." She goes, "It may seem like there's a lot of negativity in the world right now." She's not talking about anything else happening. She's talking about herself.
She's talking about herself.
But don't let the voices of a few drown out that there is so much love out there.
I love how vague that is, because she's like, you could read that and apply it to like the wars that are going on, or you just could read that and apply it to my life.
It's her life.
Yeah. Also, like, no one is negatively drowning out anything when it comes to her.
Here's my hot take.
What?
I feel like the backlash against her is insane.
Whoa. Why?
I think she's probably like insufferable to work with, but I also think that like a lot of other famous people are probably too, and I think the hate against her right now, it has gone from beyond like camp where it was for a period and now is going into like, wait, what? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
it's
I guess
like
I haven't seen like the level of hate and vitriol online.
So much vitriol against her, and it's like
for just like existing,
just like hard to work with, treats her staff badly, which I'm sure she does all of those things. But that's like par for the course with someone who's been famous for that long.
I don't think so. I think that if you are shitty to work for and like you treat people badly and that comes to light, you deserve every bit of backlash for that. It is truly very easy to be respectful to people.
I think I'm okay. I'm saying this wrong. I think
like taking it to a place of like, I want her to be like really sad and divorced.
That's what I'm saying. That part I'm like, okay. Like
anyone with a brain could watch her documentaries.
Call her out for being rude and like mistreating staff. Like I'm all like, she deserves that. Yes. But when it comes to like, I want her to be miserable and alone for the rest of her life. It's like, Jesus.
It's like, girl, you don't have to want that for her. She'll do it to herself.
Yeah. You should let
Honey,
her cook.
Anyone with a fucking brain and a pair of working eyes could watch her documentary and know that relationship is torched.
It's cursed. And they've been like out and about this week, like trying to rehab it. They're done.
I'm over them.
I don't give a fuck.
I always thought from the beginning, I was like, these two people just can never get enough attention, can they?
No, they both are sick. They're sick people. They both love attention. You know what I'm saying, though? It's like...
Yeah, I don't wish for someone to be like destroyed and like homeless and alone
because
of whatever they've done.
People want that, and
yeah,
I'm like,
I don't like that.
And at the end of the day, I don't really give a fuck. But it's also just like funny to me that right before COVID, she was getting so much praise and love for Hustlers, and she was like, there was Oscar buzz about her, you know what I mean? And people were like,
well, also it's like, who was that praise really coming from, or was it like a manufactured campaign?
Regardless of that, people were like standing her all over again. And then it's just funny how
welcome to being a woman.
Yeah, it's
queen bee syndrome.
It is.
Yeah, the hive has cast her out. The hive smells her pheromones and says, you're not as fertile as you used to be, and we want a new queen.
It's just wild to me to see someone like her. Just now, she's like persona non grata, and she's like
amongst like the cultural opinion.
Yeah, culturally, this is what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I mean.
By the way, Atlas.
Did you watch?
Oh yeah.
How was it? Number one in the world.
Number one in the world. That's my only comment.
I love that.
She wears glasses in it. That's my other.
That's how you know she's serious. She's truly the type of bitch that would.
She wears like a big.
She'll do to like get into character for a role is curl her hair or put like a wide rim glasses on.
She wears like a crazy pair of glasses. Her hair is curled to the gods, and she's wearing like a Elizabethan like ruffle collar. And that's all I'm going to say about this movie. That's all you need to know.
Yeah, I have no interest. I gave her a lot of time and energy when I watched This Is Me Now twice and watched the documentary. And then I said...
You watched it twice?
Yeah.
Incredible.
I said, this has told me everything that I need to know. And I actually never need to engage with this person ever again. And I like released her. And then it's been a great life for me.
Good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I love that. Carl and Lindsay are positively... shilling processed cheese crackers. Who will win in the cheese cracker war of the century?
I think Lindsay's won.
Yeah, I think Cheez-Its. Trump.
Goldfish is like, grow up.
Old Bay season goldfish, no thanks.
She said her caption was, currently crushing life as I soak up the start of summer. Blissful and relaxed on my rooftop, snacking on the superior cheesy snack, Cheez-It. Snapped crackers. Someone recently said that being an influencer isn't a real career, even though we've seen them give it a try. I guess she's talking about...
What's the fish emoji for?
Because he had goldfish. But it seems to be working for me, maybe because I'm a woman. While that other snack might make those people smile back, my all natural 100% real smile shows just how deactivated I am in this moment.
I would argue that you're actually incredibly activated by giving that caption.
He got veneers.
I'll say.
I mean, were his teeth even that bad to begin with?
I think so.
He looks off. Something's off. What happened to him?
He's a shell of man. This is what
he's a little slender.
But he's Slender Man now. He's in his Slender Man era. But you know what? I think and I say this with true love, light, and nothing but respect for my queen, Lindsay Hubbard. My fucking landlord, Queen Lindsay Hubbard.
Is she a landlord?
Yeah, she bought a house in Nashville that she like Airbnbs out. It's called like Hub House. I'm all for her getting hers, and honestly, being a landlord is a great way to build wealth in this economy. So, like, if you
destroy all landlords except Hubbard, except Hub House,
yeah, crush landlords, cancel rent, and cancel landlords, except for one house in Nashville, and that is the Hub House.
Does she live there now?
No, she just rents it out for like bachelor party. It's actually a pretty genius idea.
Does she still live in New York?
Yeah. She's currently crushing life on her rooftop eating snapped Cheez-Its.
Does Radke still live there? My mom.
He lives like in the corners, amongst the shadows.
My mom last night. My parents were visiting, and I went to the hotel last night, and she was unpacking in her room, and she goes, "I gotta say something about Carl." And she goes, "And forgive me for being a little crass." She goes, if you're a straight man, and she goes, a straight man sleeping next to a gorgeous woman in your bed and you don't want to do anything with her, there's something up with that. And I was like, The tea.
I mean, I agree. I think if you're...
I think he's a little gay. I think he's struggling. I'm reading that. To me, I'll say it.
I like that. I hope
I know
that
you like it.
I think that if you're in a relationship and you're in the newish blossoms of a relationship, you are like on the path to be married, you're engaged, and you're truly not sleeping together. I think when the sex... I think, yeah, they were like 2 months out from being wed.
And they weren't having sex.
No, they weren't having sex. Like, they were having sex like once a month. I think that is a huge sign that something's wrong. When you stop having sex in a relationship, I get like once you've been in it for like years and years, you go through dry spells and that's normal.
Yeah.
But like, I think that at certain points, it's like, is it a dry spell or is there something else at play?
Yeah. And my mom was like kidding, but like...
No, but I love that take.
But I do think even watching him on season 3, like I'm on season 3 now, I'm not saying I don't ever... I know. Stop.
I feel bad for him.
He was really cute, but...
Yeah.
He's really dark to me. And I don't even know if it's gay. I hate being like, oh, he's got, but... There's something repressed in him that I think he's like really trying to keep down. I don't know if it's his gayness or just something is off with him. And I mean, that's for sure.
I think he
has a lot of demons. And I think
he has demons and he doesn't know who he is.
He has no idea who he is.
And I think being with Lindsay gave him more of a sense of identity. And it seemed like if it worked out, it would be a magical like fairy tale ending, I think, to have gone through everything he's gone through. Because do you know that his brother dies of addiction?
I know that.
And that like happens while he's shooting the show.
Oh, he gets the call?
Yeah. It's really sad.
I mean, his mom visited in one episode and she made me really sad because his dad left her at like 34 years of marriage for another woman. Like,
yeah.
They're just a sad family.
There's stuff going on. And I think that maybe he clung to this Lindsay relationship too hard without really thinking it through. Like maybe he ignored a lot of just like personality clashes that they had in order to kind of have this fantasy play out. And then when it started to become more and more clear, like, oh, if I marry this person, I'm going to be with her for like legally for life. And we're like two very different people. And then it was like, I think also you see him being unable to kind of vocalize what he's going through. Yeah, come. But also like they just don't have very good communication with each other. So it's like he technically, I guess, left her, but like the way he approached it was like he went to her and said like, based on where we're at right now, like I'm not ready to get married in 2 months. And then she said, well, then you're calling it, then there's nothing else to talk about. I guess it's over. And like it wasn't like let's talk about this or figure out another game plan or like.
So he at least had some awareness that something was off.
He did?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I mean, I think you see he has that for months leading up to when he finally told her. But like,
do you see him tell her?
Yeah.
Oof. And the summer house?
No, they are back in New York. It's like 2 days after they stopped filming for the season, and then they fight all summer, like having crazy fights. They get in this one fight that's like, because she got sober for a while to support him to make it to 100 days, but then she started drinking again, and I think that's also when conflict started arising.
I mean, she's a toxic person in a relationship, it seems.
Yeah, and like they would get in fights and she would be really drunk and he would be like sober in the fight, and then in this past season she would like they were fighting. It was like one of the first of many fights they had. And she was like, have you relapsed? Like you're fucked up right now.
So
are you
cool.
on something right
like
now?
that.
And she's like shit-faced saying this to him, and he's a sober person. I was like, that's really fucked up to like
rude.
Accuse like a sober person of that
When you're fucked up.
when you're shit-faced.
Yeah,
And like
that's not
her
okay.
like not processing like why that's very uncool to do. And so that was like the first thing where I'm like, you're not fighting fair.
But I love her.
Oh God, I fucking love her so
Ride
much.
for her.
I mean, she's a true nightmare girlfriend, but that's why I like her so much.
It's interesting because like where I am right now with Carl, like I vacillate between being repulsed by him on like a molecular level and then
needing him to breed you.
Well, yeah, but I'm not even that attracted to him. There's something about him that I'm like, you know what I mean? Like I think I look at him and I can see he's a hot person.
Yeah.
But I'm like, I'd rather fuck, you know, Everett or like, unfortunately, or
Everett really scares me.
He scares me too.
He has scary veteran energy.
No, he's like militia, but do you know what I mean though?
Mm-hmm.
There's something like
Christ on a cross.
I know. Carl has something where I'm like, ooh, you know what I mean? There's something icky.
Yeah.
And it repels me. Like Kyle is more attractive to me than him.
Because Kyle has more bravado, I think, like natural bravado.
Yeah, he's a loser too, but I think like.
But I think Carl has like a lot of shame.
He has shame.
And his shame.
And I relate in some level.
Totally.
So maybe that's why he repels me. Look, and don't get me wrong, like I would have
bred until this past season, and then I truly.
No,
I lost my Carl boner this season, and then I really realized I was like, oh, this person is like. He just came across as like kind of weak this season. I was not a fan of him like beating around the bush and like, I mean, the picture that Lindsay paints of him, which is to me is like a single woman incredibly unappealing, is like a man in his 40s who's like lost and doesn't know what he's going to do with his life and like trying to get things going, but like can't really get anything going. And like,
does he still sell dental things?
No, he worked for Kyle's beverage company for a while.
Which is doing really well, right?
I think so. But like...
Oh, I thought Carl owned it with him.
I don't know what their deal was. But then he stopped working for them when he got with Lindsay. And that was like a source of conflict between him and Kyle. And then he created... or Loverboy created like a non-alcoholic beverage. So he was like thinking about going back. But it just seems like... he does just seem like a very lost person without... the crutch of drugs and alcohol, and I think that's just gonna take a while for him to like get his shit together.
Sometimes like watching him I'm like, oh my god, he's like beautiful.
Yeah.
And then other times I see him and I'm like, I see myself in addiction. Like he
kind of goes vacant in the eyes.
And he has these dark circles that are, it's like it's a kind of dark where it's like beyond just like, it's almost brown because you're not sleeping. You have like you're not getting enough oxygen, so your skin is like, do you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And it's like unhealthy, like someone who like has very unclean air vents because they don't clean. Like I just see it, and I see
like his body is an unclean air vent.
Yeah, and like his body looks in this, you know, because this is pre-sobriety. You see him like he's really skinny, and you can tell he's doing a lot of drugs, and like. But then I also felt kind of bad for him when like. Steven the gay like blows his spot about getting head from a guy. I didn't really think that was fair.
No.
And I think like the Workus twins they're literally Hydra. They're literally Flotsam and Jetsam.
They're not of this world.
No, they are unbelievable. I'm so afraid of them. They're literally Flotsam and Jetsam.
Them talking to each other.
She goes, Carl, what are you talking about? We're like going over here. It's like Steven told me what you said, and I think it's really. But Steven, I went from thinking Steven was sweet and like wanting the best for him to being like, oh, you're evil.
You're an evil dark gay.
And he by the end of the season was like, the power, and all the girls were like, you know, kind of deferential to him, and he like bossed everyone around, and he just terrorized Carl because I think he was in love with Carl, and I think Carl kind of is one of those guys that even if he's not gay, he like enjoys the attention from anyone. He's like an attention slut because he needs affirmation at all times.
Totally.
So Steven was and I've kind of had relationships with straight guys like that where it's like you give them like this sort of slightly sexual attention, and they love it, and they kind of play with it, and they flirt a little, and they they go to a certain point, and then it's like there's a wall, and you'll never be able to get there, and they know that, and they sort of dangle that in front of you like a mule with a carrot. And I think he did that with Steven. So I get Steven's rage, but I'm also like, don't fucking tell the workus flotsam that he got head from a guy. Like, don't blow up his spot. Like, that's not your story to tell. And I think that was like, he kind of ambushed him on camera.
It's shitty.
And I thought that was really shitty. And I thought I think Carl, yes, was like poorly behaved with like Lauren and whatever, but Lauren also sucked too. She was toxic as fuck.
Yeah. I think it's Carl's also.
They're also on so much coke all the time in that show.
Yeah, they're fucked up.
Lauren comes home at her and Carl come home at one time at like 9 a.m. and they go into a hot tub, and I'm like, this is coke behavior.
Coke energy.
Where you're like weird.
Carl's also like very passive, I think. Like,
he's passive, but
he makes choices in the moment, like just does whatever suits him in the moment. But then it's also a really passive thing to do, because it's like he'll tell you one thing, but then he would like won't tell you the whole truth, or like will leave stuff out, or like you'll think that it's one way with him, and then he acts in a totally different way, and it's like he's not like forthright, and that really bothers me.
No, he's not trying. It's pathological. He's not trying to be dishonest. He just like, in his attempt to avoid conflict and
it's conflict avoidance
and be beloved, he will omit, or he will like keep things to himself. He'll let things go, but he's really like upset about, you know what I mean? Or like has another agenda, but he's like, I don't think it's intentional with him.
Yeah, I think it's like baked in.
But
I hope that
he is really like, he scares me a little, like not in the way that like Everett, even though I think he's hot, scares me, where I'm like, Everett's gonna he's gonna be in like Patriot Front. But like Carl's just, I worry for him what he's gonna do to himself.
Yeah.
I think he's more likely to turn it inward.
I think he does turn it inward.
And I worry for that. And I think that's like, you know, and that's scary when you're in recovery, when you have a tenuous grasp on your own identity. That's a recipe for disaster. And I pray that he stays clean and like keeps up his recovery.
I think he stayed sober like through this whole thing. Good. And I do think that he's handled this breakup in a classy way. Like, he's not, to my knowledge, I haven't seen him like trash Lindsay. I think he's been very diplomatic whenever he's been like on camera about it. Like, he doesn't make digs, and like he hasn't said anything like out of pocket, and I appreciate that about him.
I hope that, you know, one day he finds his special fella, and like,
he should come back next season as gay.
Do you think he's gay?
I think cocaine is the gateway to being gay as a straight man. I think that if you do enough blow and get drunk enough, you will end up having a guy suck your dick. Like, well, yeah, something will happen. You're not necessarily gonna get fucked in the ass, weird, but you're gonna give a hand job. You're gonna get a hand job. Someone's mouth might be on your dick. Like, things just happen. It's cocaine energy. That's just how it happens.
I'm mostly kidding when I say
I don't think he's gay. I think he's boring.
That's a really good. Are you gay or are you just boring?
That's what you need to ask every straight man.
Gay or nice, or gay or boring?
I can't wait for you to experience some of the true randos that they cast on Summer House.
I'm on season 3 now. The Hydra are gone.
They had to go.
Steven went back to like gay hell.
Yeah.
He was banished. I'm like, why didn't they ask them back? Were they the 3 of them together, was it just too toxic?
I think they just wanted younger energy.
Lauren and Ashley together was they were
unreal.
They have this guy Jordan who is, talk about closet.
Yeah.
He's watching church sermons on his computer. He's
a dark
creepy.
soul.
He is so thin. Danielle's like, I love him. He's so hot. Danielle darks me out a little too.
Danielle has dark energy. Sometimes I'm like, she is fucking killing it. And then sometimes I'm like, girl, you need to get yourself together.
I think she is killing it business-wise. I've looked her up.
We'll see about
her
app. Don.
Hannah?
Hannah Paige is in the mix.
Paige is amazing.
I love Paige.
She's so like, I just love her like look, her vibe.
Her vibe is good. I also loved Hannah.
I like Hannah a lot.
I had Hannah on Babe.
Really?
Yeah. Right when the pandemic happened, I had her on. And then later that year, unfortunately for her, the Summer House season, or she shot the Summer House season where she truly loses the plot. And I was covering it. So I had to be real. But
what does she lose the plot about?
She acts like a crazy person.
Okay.
She like goes from being like it went as a viewer, the viewer situation is like you go from being like
fan favorite, I
love Hannah, like I ride for Hannah and Paige, to then being like, what on earth is wrong with this woman? But then unfortunately I'm sad that she didn't get like a redemption season, because I know it would have happened. And she's also like, if memory serves, not so wrong. Like she was kind of whistleblowing about Amanda and Kyle's relationship in a way that I'm like, they should never have gotten married, unfortunately.
They're so toxic to me. It freaks me out.
It's a cursed hetero hell.
Kyle writing that manifesto email to all of them before they come. He writes like a 17-page email about being kind to Paige because he feels bad about, and Lindsay says it. It's like it's his guilt over cheating on her.
Being kind to Amanda.
He's like, all of you, because Danielle and Lindsay like cropped her out of a photo and like didn't tag her and something. So he wrote a 17-page email about how to be
Kyle's
nice.
Insane.
He freaks me out.
I don't like how drunk he gets.
No,
really hasn't changed.
He has that drunk where it's like,
he's
like
like,
when I was,
like it's
like when I was drunk, I was like fun. I was fun.
When I'm drunk, I'm fun, and I maybe slur a little bit, but like you probably oftentimes wouldn't even know that I'm blackout.
But he's like the kind of drunk that like doesn't know that he's like kicked over a cup with his foot instead of his hand. Like he thinks he, you know what I mean? Yeah. He like doesn't remember. Like he has like almost psychosis, like forgetting reality. Mm-hmm. You're not fun, Amanda. But yeah, I'm
excited for you to get into
I like how Paige is like, good. I don't want Jordan near me. Like she's always like, get him away from me.
He's disgusting. Sorry, I'll say it.
He's really scary.
I can't wait for you to get to the Jesse Solomon season.
Okay.
It just happened, so you have a few seasons to go.
Do the work eye ever come back?
No, they're gone. Gone but never forgotten.
I looked them up on Instagram.
One lives in like Dallas, I think.
One lives in Tampa. One lives in San Diego.
That sounds right. Separate them. One on one coast, one on the other.
They need to be separated. The balance of the balance of everything, like just the balance of things, only can be restored when the Workus twins are on either side of a continent. Yeah. If they are together, everyone is at risk.
No, truly, there will be like an earthquake.
They are true. By the way, we had 2 earthquakes yesterday.
Didn't feel it.
But they are truly like, you cannot, when putting the Workus twins together is a national security threat.
It is.
Like, we're in a state of orange.
The Biden administration said you must stay in Tampa and you, madam, must go to San Diego.
We've been raised to like orange. Remember like the terrorist threat levels? Mm-hmm. And we were always at like orange. We're now at red. When the Workus twins are together, you never know what's going to happen. No. And add Steven into the mix.
Chows. Yeah. I'm so happy that you watch Summer House now.
I love it.
It's so good.
It makes me so glad to be sober.
I know.
All right, let's get into these. Speaking of sober.
Okay, dolls.
This is Carey.
I'm Lara.
You're listening to
Sexy Unique Podcast.
A tight 50.
Valley of the Dolls.
Valley of the Dolls.
You know what? Summer House has to be discussed.
This is a grand finale, no reunion. So we were cruelly denied justice on the couch. I have a theory.
What?
I think the show is, never mind.
What? Do you know something?
No.
Oh, okay. Say it. Spill, queen.
I feel like the show is taking Jax's side. And if they put them together, he's going to look really bad. With Brittany on the couch with Jax.
He's a monster.
I hate him.
I hate him too.
I hate him. I want him on my TV, but I hate him.
Hate him.
Pussy ass bitch.
He's a pussy ass bitch. He's a pab.
He's a pab.
He treats Brittany so badly.
But she stood up for herself. She said, no more date nights for you.
I'm taking my shots and I'm hitting the road.
Thank God she took a shot in this episode. I was so happy for her. No
Shots
Gerd.
got some justice in this episode.
Didn't see Gerd. Either that evidence was omitted or just Gerd free.
Yeah, we'll see.
Doute, we come up on Doute sweeping up dog shit while barefoot. And I'm just like, whoa.
I think it was dog food.
Okay, dog food. She goes, be nice to Gibson, Jill.
Their apartment is truly of hell.
Jesse and Michelle are in
gather.
their house, and he clocks that Michelle isn't wearing her wedding ring. She goes, yeah, I took it off this morning.
Danny and Nia are at lunch, and he's still harassing her about living in Valencia.
I know.
It's Valencia for you, doll.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure you're gonna be living in Valencia.
It's a day till Jax's Tavern opens, and they're getting ready. And Brittany goes, I'm so excited. She goes, let's bring in plants to brighten it up in here. It's so brown. It's poop colored in Jax.
It is a shit colored circus tent.
Why is the Jax's font Smuckers?
I truly don't understand.
It's literally jelly.
It's jelly.
It's grape jelly Smuckers.
Is that why they put jelly in the Bravo bag that they sent us?
I don't know.
There's inexplicably a jelly.
Because we make PB&J for the kids.
It's Jax's Tavern.
Yeah, Danny's really...
Danny won't stop yapping about Valencia, and Nia is truly about to self-combust.
Mm-hmm. Nia's so pretty.
She's gorge.
Danny is not.
He's like a thumb.
Yeah, she could do better.
She should think about that.
Yeah. She should be with Carl.
She should be. She'd be a great partner for Carl.
I know.
Carl should be stepfather to her 3 children.
Carl is a dad. Carl.
I think he might be a good dad. No?
I mean, I still am getting to know him, but I'm like...
You'll never really know him.
I don't know if I would trust him with like my sister's kids. Like to drive somewhere.
Not in the state that you know him at now.
Mm-hmm.
But I think...
Like just...
I think Carl would be good with a partner who will just tell... who will just tell him what to do all the time, but kind of treat him like... I think he needs a mommy.
Lindsay wasn't going to do that.
Lindsay...
She got the telling what to do part down, right?
She got the telling what to do part down, but then it was like she was becoming like too much of like a business coach for him, and he kept being like, I just want you to be like soft and supportive. And then she's like, I'm sorry, like you're not figuring anything out, and like I'm gonna ask questions and try and get to the bottom of like why you're thinking the way you're thinking.
When did they even get together? How did this start?
They date at one point on the show, and then it like doesn't work out because he's like a loose cannon. But then they circled back, I think, after he got sober. I think it was a sobriety circle back to just see.
You should not be...
I don't think you should circle back in a case like that.
No.
I mean, circle back all you want, actually, but like, don't circle back to like Tiffany's and buy an engagement ring and then like get engaged to someone. Because he then got engaged to her, I want to say within the year that they got back together. And I think that's also because she's been very adamant about like she wants to get married and like have kids. Like she really wants to have kids. But I'm like, bitch, the way you are, you need to think about having kids solo. Because I also think she needs to be with an older man. I think Lindsay would be really good with like a 55-year-old or like a 60-year-old.
She'd be a great stepmom.
Great stepmom. She could pop out a kid. Like she needs to be like an already established man who can like handle her headstrong nature,
like a
and kind of give it back to her a little bit, but also like give her treats and gifts, because I want her to be like showered
like a little puppy.
I want her to be showered like a princess.
Jasmine and Zack do pottery, or the gays are out in town.
It's the gayest thing to go do pottery together. Jax
goes, did you see my geotag for Big Bear? And Jasmine goes, oh, we saw it. It was probably the biggest point of contention on the whole trip. And he goes,
Jasmine has PTSD from the baby moon.
She's like, Janet was literally afraid of you. you scared her. And he goes, what can I say? And he goes, look, she really deceived me. She turned out to be someone I didn't think she was. And he goes, it's giving shady boots.
Zach is in a place of shouting gay in this entire episode. Everything he says is a shout.
I'm obsessed with him going scorched earth. He
goes, if you don't like me, just fucking say it. He announces to the entire pottery studio.
Jasmine is also like on the brim. She's been pushed to the edge by these fucking people.
Yeah.
And she's literally like, what am I doing? Wait, she was also on...
She's been heterosexually waterboarded.
Someone told me she was on Dallas making the team. Dallas Cowboy Cheerleaders. I'm pretty sure. Let me double check. Which, that rocked my world.
Wow. Brittany is making a succulent wall for Jax's Tavern. Oh my goodness. She's just trying to with these succulents.
Yeah. She was on DCC.
Wow.
Dun, 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 dun.
Do you remember her?
I think I do. Let me just confirm.
But she was there.
Bum, 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 bum. That's the theme song. Yeah, Brittany's like, I gotta make my succulent wall. She loves a floral, like, kind of verdant wall.
The succulent wall was a good idea. And it does turn out looking really nice. I at first was kind of darked by it because I was like, are these fake succulents? Like, I really can't with like plastic. But then I think they're real.
Let her do the fucking succulent wall. Like, Jax was like kind of giving her like
he like won't participate in succulent wall planting.
This will make her happy. Let Brittany do the fucking succulents.
He won't even let her have little wins. Like, everything she does, he finds a way to like shit on it.
She goes, once the wall's gonna get filled, I'm gonna be so happy. And then she goes, I'm feeling confident, feeling good.
She goes outside. She goes, Jax, can you just make sure? We need some light bulbs. The light bulbs are broken. We got to get those light bulbs replaced. Can you just make sure?
And he's outside like cleaning teeny cleans of the sign. He goes, I have to make the sign not. And she goes, I think Jax is just out there because he doesn't want to do any work. So he's just pretending. I was like, that's exactly.
And she surprised Jax by getting his sister and brother-in-law to come to town.
His brother-in-law's hot.
Yeah.
I like that.
And she comes in. Jax is like sitting with one of the investors or co-owners. And Brittany goes, I'm so happy now. And Jax is like, what are you happy about? Like, blah. And it's like, just let her be happy.
She's part of this venture with you.
Wallpapered everything, like decorated the whole place. Like, let Brittany just have a win. She brought your sister out here.
He's cruel and he wants to see. I think it gives him pleasure to hurt her. No?
Yeah. And I think it's like, it's a type of thing, and I've seen this in a relationship before, where you just like, where it's like everything a person says, there has to be some sort of little, it's not even like overt comments. It's just like finding little ways to belittle them or like shit on them.
Yeah, it's just, knocking the wind out of their sail.
And she's just a Southern woman who wants to be respected. She just is. And when she's like, I knew you were going to be so sad that you were mad at me after I flew your sister out here. And it's like, this seems very Southern coded behavior, Southern female coded, to be like, do something nice, but then kind of assume like, now I know you're going to be real sad that you were mad at me because I did this nice thing, and now you see. And it's like, they aren't sad. They actually don't care.
She goes, I just feel like you're not even attracted to me sometimes. And he says nothing to refute it. And I think he really wanted to say sometimes.
Yeah. He's not giving her an inch.
He doesn't say like, that's not true. I love you. I think you're he literally just basically is like, yeah. And I'm like, sorry, look at you now, Jax.
I know, you're disgusting.
You've lost any kind of sexy that you've had. You're like blotchy, and just your hate is infecting your skin.
And it's fucked up that like he just keeps saying, which I think is a reverse psychology tactic of like, she'll never leave. She'd never leave me. Like, I think he's saying that because he really wants her to leave.
He wants out of this life. He's done with it.
But he's not strong enough to just be like, I'm not into this anymore. Like, I'm going to leave. Like, he wants her to move out of the house, take the kid. Like, it's just so shitty.
He wants, like, if he could, he would run away from this life, I think. He's, like, I think
he would start a new identity.
Yeah, I think, like, that's his Emma. I feel like that would be his, like, at his core, he wants to, like, move to Miami and, like, live like, that model life again.
I feel for Brittany, and I hope that she, like, is showered with money and all her dreams come true.
Me too.
And she ascends and starts a restaurant called Brittany's next door to Jax's and puts Jax's out of business.
Yeah, I want her to, like, just be really successful, and I want her to marry, like, a right-wing politician. She
deserves, like, a really kind, respectful man that works for the Trump administration. For Sherry, she needs to make Sherry happy.
For Trump's, when he's like,
a man who, like,
during his 5th term.
Yeah. A man who's like, I don't agree with gayness, but I respect it. And I'll allow it. And I won't put them to death.
Children.
Yeah. I'll let them adopt kids. Do I think it's, like, disgusting? 100%.
Brittany says Jax has been thwarting conception of a second child.
I know. She goes, if you don't want to have kids, just tell me.
Tell her.
Yeah, literally tell her.
Luke is heading back to his militia compound in a few.
Doute and Luke's House of Blinds.
And Doute is preparing her look for the bar opening. And she goes, I'm really just excited to be there to support Jax and Brittany. I think it's really cool. It's like we have a new place now to drink. She's putting on a hot brown leather.
Like a pleather dress.
What kind of dress is that? Like
I think it's like faux crocodile.
Yeah.
It's like kind of a shift mini dress.
Yeah.
She goes, it's been a rough summer, needless to say. And I was like, it's been a rough life, needless to say. Luke he's like going back to his homestead for a month. He's like, I'm going to go back. Like, I'll be in Colorado for a month. And Doute goes, well, I can't be gone that long. Maybe like 2 weeks. And I was like, girl, what do you have to do? What do you do day to day? May. That's an email job.
Mm-hmm. She's in a place of getting ready top bun.
Mm-hmm.
That is the top bun that is like
half up, half down.
It is reaching for the stars. It's a skyscraper. When Doute's has a top bun, you know she means business.
The Adderall's hitting and she's firing on all cylinders.
She goes, I can't believe. She's like, I feel really bad. I feel like a really bad friend for, like, what I did to Michelle. She goes, I should have clarified. She goes, I meant to say Michelle had a boyfriend 1 year ago. She didn't have a boyfriend for a year. She goes, oops.
It was like, both are bad. It's not doing what you think it's doing.
She said Michelle, like, when she and Jesse were, like, at their worst, which is hard to believe because I think every
waking moment has been gotten worse and worse progressively.
She sought solace in the arms of another.
Via text.
I also just wrote Tits McGee. Doute
is Jugs Smith. Mistress Jugs.
I'm obsessed with her.
I love her Jugs. I wonder if she's had a mammogram.
Probably.
Hopefully. Doute, which also I'm like, I don't know if I believe her revisionist story because she goes, Luke's like, yeah, and then you said in the elevator, like, when we were waiting that she had a boyfriend. And then Doute goes, I misspoke again. And what I meant to say is she had a boyfriend a year ago, which you know. And I was like, Doute asked him to ask her this so she could, like, clarify, and then is trying to implicate him in the new truth that she's creating. That her mind is actually so incredible because she thinks by doing this, she's righting the initial wrong when she absolutely isn't, and in fact is making it even worse. In her mind, she's like, and that's called being a good friend.
Yeah.
Like, what would be the most amazing friend move is to never say it, But then if you said it and then you're going to try and right the wrong, you should be like, I was like a total lie. I was just trying to like fuck her up in that moment.
Yeah.
And like take the L and move on.
Not Doute.
Doute is pure chouse. She needs to link with the Workus. The sisters Workus, Doute and Steven.
The Hydra. Jesse and Michelle, speaking of, are talking about their marriage, and Jesse wants Michelle to say daily that he's a good husband and a good father. And he goes, I really just want to go back to April 2020. And I was like, you're the only American that wants that.
You're the only man in this world who wants that.
He goes, it was always kisses and cuddles and hugs.
There's one person having an incredible April 2020, and it was Jesse.
Yeah.
I am obsessed with Michelle doming Jesse any chance she gets.
I'm sorry.
She's like, I don't know if I can ever get back to that. Like her tone where she's like, I don't even care enough to really have this conversation, but I'll like kind of fake have it with you because you're clearly like emotional about it is incredible. He goes, I never thought it would get this bad. And she goes, I know, me neither. And he goes, well, I just thought you had such strong family values that you would do whatever it takes to like fix this. And I'm like,
it's not her fault.
You're such a piece of shit. Like to try and say that, but it's so incredible because nothing he says even ruffles her feathers.
No, she's done. She's been done for a year.
It's magical.
Yeah.
It's my new kink is seeing
Michelle talk to him.
Is seeing Michelle talk to him, but seeing women tell their husbands that they want a divorce and being totally over it and just being like, and watching the husbands like squirm and try and like get some sort of sense of the upper hand.
Because they want to be the one that said.
Or they want like the woman to be crying about it or be sad and like just a true no emotion and not even like what Michelle's doing is true gray rocking.
Yeah.
It's engaging, but just being like unbothered.
Yeah, not taking low blows, just like being like
not even being sarcastic.
Just completely neutral.
1000 neutral and not giving an inch but being like strong. Ariana should take notes because Miss Glad's gonna have to play ball next season.
Brittany arrives at Jax's the night of the opening and she goes, oh my god, it looks so good in here.
Oh my god.
Oh my god, it's so good.
Jax and her gather by the succulent wall and she goes, they're hugging and Jax goes, we have a bar in Hollywood. And I was like, what the fuck is wrong with this man?
She goes, well, you mean Studio City. We have a bar and he goes, we have a bar in the Valley.
I was like, but Jax would literally go on camera and be like, my bar's in Hollywood.
He's a liar.
He's a dirty
He's a pathological liar.
They put this together. He goes, I can't believe we put it together in 2 months. I was like, I can. It looks like that.
It's a tent. It's flapping in the wind.
Literally, I think what happened
blow it down.
is that Rocco's was not doing good business. And they said, no one's coming to our cursed patio. We're going to have to like partner with someone else. And like, we'll just tell them we have 2 months to figure it out and they can slap some wallpaper on.
They were like, who's the dumbest person we know?
And someone's like, what about Jax Taylor? And they're like, yes.
Lance Bass was like, hell yes.
Absolutely. And then they just like threw this together. It feels very haphazard and feels like we're in a crisis. Let's get Jax and Brittany in here.
Do you think LVP is a silent partner in Rocco's?
It's a good question.
She always had Lance on the show. She had him on. Remember she had him on like a few
Maybe
times?
she's just like his mentor. Because it has very like, I've been mentored by LVP vibes.
Doute looks fab, rocking her plaid. Luke is wearing a hoodie. I was like,
can't you just put on a button down?
Go back to Colorado.
This is Jax's. This is night out on the town.
Janet and Zach finally have it out. And Zach is, the whole time Janet's like telling him that she didn't appreciate like their fight. Zach is pruning his lips and rolling his eyes. And I was like, I wrote, he's literally Jabay.
Yeah. Brittany is taking shots to celebrate.
Yeah.
And Schwartz even shows up.
Oh, I blacked that out.
He shows up with a bottle of Fireball to give to Jax because it was Jax's dad's favorite. Okay. And he goes, and Schwartz, upon seeing Jax's, his initial, he goes, whoa, it's rustic.
What's wrong with that man?
Everything. Zach also is ride or die Brittany.
I know.
He goes, why are we calling it Jax's? This is Brittany's.
He goes, it's Brittany all over the place.
Everything in here screams Brittany. He goes, girl, the decor, you killed it.
I was like, you know what?
She did it. She did the best she could do.
She did something.
For a tavern?
Yeah.
So Janet calls Jasmine over. Janet is truly drunk with pregnancy power.
She is.
I don't like it.
She
goes, Jasmine.
I didn't like that.
She goes, I see that you went to a pottery class with Zach. Did he actually come to Big Bear? It's like, no, bitch. He didn't fucking come to Big Bear. Get over it, Janet.
Your baby moon sucked.
Get a grip.
Yeah.
Zach coming to Big Bear and relieving everyone of the hell that was your baby moon by shooting them point blank in the head one by one would have been a gift.
Yeah, and would have been exciting.
Yeah. Unfortunately, we had to suffer through every waking moment.
She was literally like, I'm Sharon Tate. Like, it was literally, she was like acting like he was like Manson.
She literally was like thinking she was Manson.
Yeah.
Or like there was a threat on her life.
Yeah.
And it was gay Zach and Doute, which honestly,
I would buy Doute over Zach.
Yeah.
But her going like that, I didn't like it.
Very Carmella. Zach comes over. He goes, shouting. He's at a 10 from the fucking jump. He goes, Janet, can we have a conversation, please? And she goes, you can sit here and we can talk.
He goes, I didn't know when you called that you had people on the phone speak like crock of shit boots over there. And it was Simon. I like salute Simon for getting that.
That was honestly brave. I hope he got paid for the boots.
That what was that, like that little name?
The Chiron?
Yeah.
She goes, I was calling you to invite you on my baby moon, but then you were so rude. I simply couldn't do it. And Simon was there, and so was that other man. And they both listened to everything, and you were really rude. And Zach goes, I don't care what crock of shit Boots said. I could care the fuck less. Why don't you get the fuck out of here?
He tries to kick her out, and
she goes, I'm done. That's it. And Jason goes, don't talk to my wife that way. I will wreck you, dude. And Zach goes, wow.
He's like, Jason,
you can't threaten to wreck a gay man.
Brittany comes over and she goes, what's going on? And then Janet moves over to the booth, literally on the other side of the booth. And Zach goes, I don't care that Janet's 8 months pregnant. And Michelle goes, well, you should. You should. And then she gets up and leaves.
She goes, you really should, because you could scream at her and her water would break. Which, is that true?
I'm sure. I think you can put a woman into a state of stress that could maybe induce labor if the conditions are right. But like,
if she's that on the brim of,
she shouldn't be.
Yeah, stay home, bitch. I'm sorry, but I'm over it. We all know where I stand. Is like, if you're pregnant in this world, you better come to play ball. You can't play the pregnancy card.
Zach goes, Janet is not the Queen of England. Actually, she is the Queen of England because she's dead to me.
The argument against Janet, though, I do have to say, is incredibly thin.
Yeah.
The fact that like Doute and Zach are sitting here being like, now everyone can see her true colors, which is like, she felt uncomfortable with you coming on a weekend away.
She didn't do.
She literally did nothing.
She didn't really. They're like, this is her ex. She's like, we're exposing Janet for who she is. I'm like, she didn't do anything. She was like over dramatic about Zach being near the premises of the house they were staying in. She
said she didn't trust him, and then like it's like she's not like this like plotting,
like Machiavellian,
like I can see an argument of like she's really annoying, but like I don't see the argument of like her true colors have been exposed and now people will see the truth behind Janet's sugary sweet exterior.
Zach's like, it's just like cruel intentions, like we're busting her.
He goes, and now the viewers will finally see the cracks are show. I'm like, what world are you living? Zach and Doute are truly living in a world where the cracks are showing.
Brittany
constantly
goes, she goes, oh, I'm just trying to enjoy this bar opening. And then she heads off into the crowd. And Jasmine
stands up and she's like, don't like, she says something and you just hear Zach scream off camera. He goes, thank you, Jasmine.
Jasmine's basically like, Janet, you put me in the middle of this whole situation, which I guess you could argue she did.
She did.
She's like, I feel very torn because you're both my friends and that you're asking me to like reject my good friend Zach, but then he's putting me in the crossfires with you. And she's like, I feel I do not appreciate this.
Yeah, like, oh, because Janet was like, that's fine, have his side.
And she's like, it's like, I'm not taking anyone's
She's a lesbian.
Yeah, lesbians don't take sides. Famously.
Zach goes, and just like that, Janet called me with her gaze around her, which is a classic mean girl move. She's got her minions around her being like, it's fine, crock of shit boots over there. Damn. I think that he kind of wants those boots for himself.
He's really fixated on Simon's shoes.
He's a little too fixated on the boots, and I think that he yearns for a boot.
I think he wants just give him a boot.
Give him a boot, free boots.
He's like waiting for Bravo to be like, let's send him Crocs.
I know, because remember earlier in the episode, he goes, it's giving Shady boots. He still has boots on the brain.
Boots. Jasmine and then Janet's like, we're going over here. Come on, Jason. And then they go over, and then Jasmine goes, good. She goes, you can take your vanilla happy corn dog shit over there. I was like, I don't really know what that means, but I liked it.
It was a dig at their like fantasy.
Yeah.
Their couple's fantasy.
Oh, I forgot about that.
She's had enough of heterosexuality.
Yeah, she's done.
Danny sucks down a vodka Red Bull that like spills down his chin.
Mm-hmm.
I like the camera like closing in on that.
Mm-hmm.
And Jasmine yells at Janet for putting her in the middle, and Janet's like, I am validated to say what I say. And if I truly have to hear another person on reality TV talk about how someone's opinion is valid or they are validated, I'm gonna fucking shit.
I know.
I've had enough of this like therapy speak.
I know.
Like it's infiltrated the entire Bravo universe, where every 5 seconds someone goes, and that emotion is valid.
It's very like, I don't know. It's so disingenuous.
Yeah. I don't trust it. I don't like it. And you can shut the fuck up if you're saying that shit. You're on Bravo.
Jax comes over to kind of squash things and like kind of confront Janet, because Janet basically was like, Jax is the one that kind of started all this. And then Janet goes, watch your tone with me, I'm pregnant. I go, we know. We sure know.
We get it.
We get it. Just have the baby already.
Yeah, just go fucking into labor then.
And
Jax is hugging Brittany, and he tells her, he goes, please don't get drunk. Please, are you drunk? Please. And I was like,
so mean.
I hate you so much. Mean.
Doute
goes over to like talk to Michelle, or like she kind of moves, and someone's like talking to Luke, and he goes, I want to keep Kristen in my eye line.
Yeah. Can you imagine?
He needs he's a sniper.
He does.
That's the only something a sniper would say. I need to keep Kristen in my eye line.
He's in that movie Shooter starring Mark Wahlberg. He is. Doute tells Michelle
he literally is American Sniper.
She is.
Bradley
Cooper.
Mm-hmm.
Sienna Miller. He goes, I know. She goes, I know that we'll never fully make up. I just want to let you know that. And Michelle's like, okay.
Doute truly kills me. Every single word that comes out of her mouth is more misguided than the last.
I know. And then there's this they're about to make a speech, and everyone gathers, and there's this really weird moment where Jax's friend Mikey comes out of nowhere, Danny. And he comes up to Danny and Nia, and he goes, Danny, good to see you. He's like, you look so good. He's like, next Pride, if you ever want to experiment. I was like, wait, what's happening here?
I was like, what does he know?
What does he know? And like, what's the deal? And you see Nia just be like,
Nia's like, we're Christian.
I know. I was like, wrong couple.
Jax says,
first he says, I'm going to make this short and sweet.
I know. And he gets up for his speech and he goes, it's a dream of any guy to have a sports bar, tavern, lounge. I was like, really? No. It's not. I think it's a dream of very few men to have that.
I just wrote cheap ass. He goes, I want to thank Brittany for all the help she did. My beautiful wife. So happy. And then they kiss, and then it goes.
You hear Zach scream in the background at one point. He's like thanking Brittany, and you hear Zach, not even on camera, goes, it's because of Brittany that this whole thing fucking happened.
That's a good friend.
He's a loyal friend.
He rides fucking hard for his girls.
Brittany goes, we've been through so much. Now we have this like beautiful sports bar for the Valley.
To take shots.
She goes, we have a beautiful sports bar for the Valley. I was like, damn. At least you know it.
For the Valley.
I know for the Valley, like couching it in that.
For the Valley.
For the Valley.
Yeah.
6 months later.
Jax and Brittany's separation is officially announced. And I didn't know this at the time because I hadn't seen the show yet, but they show Brittany walking into Chateau with Michelle. And I was like, oh my God, I saw this video and I didn't know who Michelle was.
Now we know.
Michelle is like a member at the Chateau, I think. So she's always there. Because I think you have to be like a member now, right?
Oh, yeah. I think it's a members only type of place.
And I was like, these two girlies are single, ready to mingle.
I truly was like, when I saw that video, thinking to myself, it's over.
Brittany is giving like a full like Leslie Stahl like sit down interview with TMZ, and she's like, when you're fighting all the time like we are, she goes, I mean, there's only so much you can take. I was like, God damn, she's really letting them know.
Michelle and Jesse have also split.
Yeah, they're like divorced.
They're like seconds away from signing the papers.
And then first they got to Jax on the couch, and he like is pretending to cry, and he goes, I never thought I'd be in the position I'm in right now. And I go, well, we all did.
No one ever questioned it for a second.
And he goes, I'm just sorry. And he has to go off camera to cry. You're a liar.
You're a liar.
You're so happy.
You've never been happier. You're getting exactly what you want.
Yeah.
Which is you get to stay. Like, nothing about your life has changed. No. It actually has improved because you don't have this person around and you have the house.
You can just bring the people that you're fucking in your car into your house now to fuck them in your bed.
Yeah.
That's the only
You don't have to fuck people in bathrooms at bars.
Yeah.
Even though I know that he loves that, you could fuck them in your own bathroom as well.
Michelle drops. Well, first we see Jesse sitting with like a glass of whiskey.
It was like, it's 3 PM, you absolute fucking moron.
Can I say something?
He's hot though.
He looks so good. He hasn't looked as good. He looks better than ever in this moment.
Because I think sadness looks good on him.
Oh man, I was.
But he's if I came in and I saw a man drinking scotch at 3 PM, I would laugh in their face.
I know, but
the way he regards himself.
Oh, he's so cheesy, but he looked very like Men at Play, which is like a porn.
It's also like kind of Mad Men.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's like
so stupid. He's so dumb.
It's like Men at Play was like a porn. I think it was like a studio, but it was all based in the office. And it's just men wearing.
It's men having like scotch.
Yeah, like men like fucking
making
in
deals,
offices, like with their suits on, or like with their high black socks,
like a dick through a suit hole.
Yeah, and it would go. And when I saw him sitting there, I heard the Men at Play.
He's going.
Michelle drops Isabella off. They're fully separated.
Yeah.
She goes, are you excited to go into Daddy's house? She keeps going, you're going to Daddy. You're going to see Daddy at his house now. She's jumped ship. She has her own place.
It's really incredible. She like sits down, sets Isabella up in the kitchen. They sit down and he's like, I just want to make sure that like you're ready for everything. Like you're taking the dog and you're taking Isabella for a couple days. Like, are we good on the agreement? And she's like, we're good on. She goes, yeah, we're 2 days on, 2 days off. Like as long as it's equal. And he goes, did you get the food? Because you are taking Malibu. So
she goes, I got the food for Malibu.
I know exactly what he's trying to do. And he's trying to rile her and also get her to be like sarcastic about it. But my queen will not crack.
3 days after they stopped filming season 1 of The Valley, she said, I want a divorce. So she waited.
Incredible.
Jesse goes, I felt blinded and dumb.
He goes, some may say blindsided. I was like, you have to be so head in the clouds to be blindsided.
Yeah.
That like it actually, if you are truly, like Lindsay keeps saying that about her and Carl's split, that she was blindsided. And I'm like, if so, then even better that you got separated or divorced, because like you're that out of touch with what's going on in reality that like it was never gonna work.
But I also wrote that now they're their dreams have come true. They can be divorced, or at least Jesse's dream is he can fight with her and not have to live with her.
But I think he likes to fight with her and live with her.
Yeah.
I think
the only thing I didn't like about both of them in this moment was they did it in front of Isabella.
Yeah, I was like, can you not? This is so dark.
I thought that was really bad, and she was uncomfortable, I think.
Yeah, I would not want to be hearing that.
He starts saying something and she goes, Jesse, I don't care. I just want to get divorced.
She goes, can you just sign the papers? It's literally the last thing. And he goes, I will not be signing anything until I have an attorney. I like that they used a mediator, but then now he's taking it to a place of, I need my attorney, blah, blah, blah. And she goes, great, just whatever. Whatever makes it fast. I just want to be divorced. She goes, I paid half the rent on this house. I moved out. I got my own place. I bought my own furniture.
She goes, our businesses are now separate. Like, we don't work together. She goes, we're cut. We just have to get divorced.
There was power. No. He's now, this is very much like what's happening with Tom and Ariana, it seems.
But on a different level.
It's a different situation. But like the holding on to something and like fighting for it, if that's really what's happening with them, which I think Jesse might just be like saying that. But like there's just power in being totally done with a relationship. And I love that she's like, I have my own money. Like, I moved out. I got whatever. Yeah. Like, that's the ultimate power move, too, is when you, like, when you're like, I have, like, I want out so badly. I'm willing to pay half of this rent and move out and get my own place and my own furniture. Like, when you are really steadfast on something, that's just the ultimate power. Is to be financially in a position where you're like, I'll just do it. I don't care.
I just felt really bad for the daughter. She came out at one point, like interrupted them and was like, look, Dad, look what I'm doing with my arms.
I know.
I was like, oof.
And I feel bad for Michelle. Like when she said, I have to tell her someday that like I left her dad. But it's also like, I get what?
The daughter, it'll be a happier life for her.
Maybe in the long run, but I do think that like
the short term, it'll be traumatizing, I think.
Yeah. And I think that there's a time like when you hear, depending on how your parents handle something like that, like I think that the person that leaves ends up getting like more shit. Or I think in a lot of situations, like in divorce, like a woman can get blamed for it more than a man. And
when she leaves, it's like almost...
Yeah, it's like, why did my mom leave my dad? Like, why didn't she make it work? Especially if Jesse perpetuates that narrative, which it seems like he will, being like, I thought you had family values and would like do anything.
Well, it's like expected that the man leaves instead of... And when when the mom leaves, it's like, because it's a woman.
Yeah. And it's not about family values for them. Like, I truly feel like Michelle was probably, she said, she was like, I feel very alone. I feel like I'm doing everything for my daughter and this man does nothing. Yeah. And like, you can't just have that in a relationship and have it be fine. Yeah. Unless those are like the roles that you've both signed up for going in. And like, it would never necessarily be, it's never going to be 50-50 in when it comes to like having a child. Yeah. With a man, because there's just no way that you can like split all those responsibilities 50-50. Yeah. But I fully get being like, I'm fucking over you doing absolutely nothing and like feeling like I'm the only person like taking care of this family.
Well, then we cut on over to a couple that's still intact. Janet and Jason have given birth finally. And for a second I wrote, is Janet still pregnant? 6 months later? Cameron has arrived and he's healthy. And Janet's having the girls over. And Michelle and Nia come, and then Brittany arrives. And they all take a celebratory shot. And Brittany's like, let's all take shots. I love that Janet can do a shot now.
She goes, oh, Lord. God, I love that Janet can do shots now.
She tells them that she and Cruz had to move into an Airbnb because Jax refused to leave. And she knew that he wouldn't even offer it. So she just was like, I'm leaving.
And she said that as soon as they stopped filming, he would go out, get shit-faced, and then be so hungover.
And mean.
Mean as a snake.
Mean as a snake.
And screamed at her in front of Cruise. And it just hit me like a ton of bricks. Everything he's done.
Well, he came into the room one time particularly while Jax was in bed, or Cruise was in bed with Brittany, and just barged in the door and was wasted and screaming about Luke. And it scared Brittany and Cruise, and then she was like, we're leaving.
I love that.
Yeah.
Also, she's like, it shows a clip of Jax getting confronted by paparazzi like outside of the gym, and it's so clearly
he called them
and he goes, how'd you guys know I was here?
He goes, the paparazzi are everywhere.
He's such an idiot.
I know. They just want the scandal. They want a little bit of the scandal.
Yeah. I mean, they're never going to get the same runoff. Like, literally no one will ever get the same runoff. But
and then Brittany is at Casa de Cauchy.
She goes home to talk to Jax.
And to pack some shit up. And Cruise is at the park with the nanny. And Auntie Kristen and Uncle Zach come over to see Brittany as she packs up. And Brittany already looks really good. She looks better without Jax. She looks like, I don't know, there was something about her. I think it was just
There's something about her. She needs to just, though, fully move on and, like, go through with a divorce.
Yeah.
I mean, he will never change.
No, he told her that
he's stayed never changing. So, like, there's no point in trying to, like, I need her to get to the confidence level and belief that, like, she's got this, because I do think she's still like 1 foot in the door.
No, she's still, I mean, it's still fresh, so I'll give her some grace with that. But like, I hope that she doesn't fall back into his trappings, because he's so mean. He told her she doesn't have any friends.
This is the pattern though with them. It's like he acts like a shithead. He does something horrible to her. She leaves, and then he like comes crawling back, or she keeps like a door open a sliver, or like a window open a sliver, and he gets back in, and it's like this will just keep happening over and over until she decides that she's done.
I think she's done.
I hope so, because when she goes back to him like at the end of the episode and she's like, why haven't you changed? Why haven't you what? She goes, nothing's changed. Why didn't you go?
Have you even thought about me? Have you even talked about me? She goes, you never asked me about anything.
It's like, bitch, he's never going to ask.
I think she's done now, though, because now she's saying she can't even be in the same room as him.
Good. They should truly communicate through an Anne type person.
Yeah. She goes, I can get my shit together and move on. I don't need Jax. She goes, I have my own things and I can make my own life.
I make my own money. I was like, good for you.
Yeah. And
she's on fucking Slim Fast or whatever she's doing, chilling. Jenny Craig.
Yeah.
Was it Jenny Craig?
I think so.
Good on her. I think she got like $2 million for that.
Yeah.
Go off.
She's a millionaire.
I want Brittany to be the next Martha Stewart.
I want her to. Like,
I think she could do it.
Yeah. What if
biscuits? I think she should make like a biscuit and beer. She should become like a food influencer.
Yeah.
She could be like the who's that Ree Drummond lady?
The pioneer woman.
Brittany is the pioneer woman.
She just needs like hundreds of acres of stolen land that Ree Drummond's family owns.
She needs to just like start making like beer cheese.
Yeah.
She could have Flamingo Estate vibes, but like shitty. And I think that she should really look into that.
She should.
There's a market for that. Where she goes, I'll make you a wreath. She goes, this wreath is plastic, but that's what you want.
This wreath is made of shot glasses. Repurposed shot glasses from Senor Frogs, Cancun, and Myrtle Beach.
Honestly, a shot glass wreath
yeah.
would fly off the shelves.
She goes, you can drink it. It's still usable.
What I like to do is I sit under the wreath like this, and I have Zach put it on his arm and spin it around, and then I have Kristen pour Fireball tequila on top of it. Fireball makes my GERD flare up, so we do tequila, and I just let it shot in my mouth.
Goes, it's a Ferris wheel shots.
It's delicious.
It's a gravitron of shots.
Then hang it on the front door.
Hang it.
Hose it off. Hang it on the front door.
She goes, and you can use it for every season.
She goes, when it's Christmas time and Santa comes to town, I have this little Christmas time shot glass, and I leave a shot and a lime out for Santa.
A shot.
A shot.
She goes, Zach, tell me about yours. She goes, I heard you got a boyfriend now. And he goes, yes, I have a boyfriend of 6 months. And he's this cute guy.
Wow.
And she goes, I love that. I'm so happy for you. You look so happy. I can't wait to meet him.
We need Zach in a relationship next season.
Yeah. The revenge she'll get.
We need chaos gays
in a relationship
on the Valley. And we also need Jasmine and Melissa to gird their loins and buckle the fuck up, get ready to go to war next season. I want civil war, but it's gays versus straights.
I want that too.
We need maybe to think about, honestly, we need Brittany to have maybe a lesbian moment.
Do you know who I saw driving today? And I know it was him. It's not like when I saw Laura Lee last week. Logan, evil, sinister Logan.
We should get him on the Valley.
Positively him.
I think that since remember when Brittany and Doute went down on each other, or Doute went down on Brittany?
Yeah. I think them to get together.
Doute.
She's like, why don't you meet my friend?
I've always thought that Doute and Brittany would end up together. And I feel like Doute needs to like get engaged to Luke, but then right before the wedding, it needs to come out that Doute and Brittany have been scissoring for years.
She goes, or Doty's like, I really want to meet my friend Carol. She's like incredible. And it's literally Carol Aird. It's Kate Blanchett. And Brittany. It's literally like her in her.
I was shopping at TJ fucking Maxx and it was rock and roll. I was like looking at posters in there. They have a great rock poster selection. And lo and behold, who did I run into? My fucking friend Carol.
She goes, Carol's amazing. She's from 1958.
She's what you call lipstick lesbian. She carries around a tiny gun in her bag.
And she wears gloves.
And I knew she'd be perfectly respectful to my friend Brittany.
And then Brittany's like, all right, I'd love to meet her.
Bi-curious Brittany. Brittany needs to get in a lesbian relationship.
Wait, this is my favorite moment of the whole episode, though. Brittany goes, how was your trip to Miami? Did you get your procedure? And Doute got her non-lipo and called air sculpt. And she like holds up. She goes, yeah, look at me. And then Zach goes, yeah, it was pretty touch and go for a few minutes in there. She goes, some of Doute's like fat squirt got on me. This must have been in the uncensored version on Peacock, but he said that he was in the room when she got her procedure and she squirted like juices on him from her like innards, and not those innards. Like
they're engaging in Cronenbergian level horrors.
That is the truest gay you'll ever get.
Honestly,
when your best hag's like lipoed stomach juice gets on you, like you are truly a good friend.
Get yourself a friend who will stand in the surgical suite with you, scrubbed up to the gods, and watch the fat get like, you know, in lipo, and they're like,
yeah,
like sucked out of you.
I'd do it.
You would not.
I would go.
You would be too. I think you would set out to do it, but I think once it got closer and closer, you would get really freaked out.
But Zach sat there
like I don't think that I can't even watch like lipo on TV.
I'd be like looking away.
Is it over?
Is it over?
But what would you get a squirt to the face? What if you went in to watch me and I went, hey Carrie, and you went, what? And I went. No, a prank too far.
I think I would like.
We should get matching lipo. When the pod gets to a certain level, we'll go get lipo.
2030. But if by 2030 by 2030 our podcast will be the #1 podcast in the world.
In America.
And we'll get lipo.
And we'll get lipo sculpted to the gods. We come out at a show wearing both crop tops, and we have literally the most chiseled abs you've ever seen.
We have like Julia Fox abs.
Mm-hmm. If this podcast like breaks the charts on the top 10, I'll literally like live stream a facelift. I will live stream a blef.
I'd rather get matching. I want to get facelifts.
Okay, I'm gonna get a blef. Lower, upper. I'm gonna maybe a brow lift. We'll live. You're gonna get fox eye surgery?
No, I just want to lift. Like
you want a brow lift? Yeah. Okay, we'll live stream our brow lifts. You know what I found is like a place that I go to is having like a good promotional deal for jowls.
I want to do jowls.
We'll talk offline because I think I'm gonna get the jowl package.
Okay. Doute had a miscarriage.
What? I think I fugued.
This might have been there was a longer version that was uncensored on Peacock.
But last night's was a long version.
Doute said that she got a positive pregnancy test, and then like she went in for the ultrasound and there was nothing there. And she's like, it was really sad because I like picked out name. Which is sad. Brittany goes, oh, well, we're always going to be here for you. And then Jax.
I don't want to laugh because I'm like,
no,
look, I want Doute. If Doute feels like what she needs to feel whole in life as a child, then like, who am I to stop her? But like, doesn't that seem like a little premature? Like as soon as you get a positive pregnancy test to be like, I'm naming it Bryce.
Well, look who she's with. Like he's probably like, we name our son Isaiah, Jacob, Saul.
He goes, it's a boy. I can feel it.
David, Goliath, Mark, Luke, John. These are my children. They will write the
Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John. The only sons we will have. The only children I'll recognize.
They will write the new gospel, the gospel of Luke and Kristen. They will write my gospel before I die and leave this earth.
She goes, Brittany goes, that's sad, but we always be here to take shots with you.
She's not. Jax, before she can run off and take shots at the chateau, Jax comes home and I went, ugh. And then Brittany goes, you're not going to get away from the way you treated me all these years.
Jax is also an incredible man because he said as soon as cameras stopped rolling, or he said like, he told Brittany that he had made a therapy appointment, but it was right in time for the cameras to start rolling.
He's the worst.
And then as soon as the cameras rolled and he found out that it wouldn't be filmed, he canceled the appointment.
And he goes, why did you cancel it? Were you afraid? And he goes, that and it was too far. It was in Malibu. And I wrote, okay.
Why the fuck would you schedule a therapy appointment in Malibu?
I know, but when he said it was too far, like.
I get that.
For a second, I was like, okay, that's fair in LA.
But also.
Fuck you.
I literally did Zoom therapy for the past since the pandemic.
Jax doesn't.
Pandemic.
Jax doesn't believe in Zoom.
He like won't touch
He
Zoom.
never knew Zoom even happened.
I bet Jax doesn't even have a laptop. I'm obsessed with like, well, now's the time. I made a therapy appointment and it's happening. And then being like, too far.
Too far. Brittany goes, I mean, Jax, do you even want me back? Because I will go. And he goes, silence. No, he doesn't.
He does not want you.
He wants to go to AM PM and get his coffee and then go take like steroids and then
take like a watery shit
and take a protein shit and then go to Jax's Tavern for 13 hours and like do a few bumps and then like
fuck like a few of the women that come up to him and are horny enough to want to fuck him.
That's literally all he wants for the rest of his life. He'll die a happy man.
She literally goes, well, you haven't even said anything and now we've been separated and what? You haven't changed. And he goes, hasn't this just been better? And I was like, oof, but also listen to what he's saying, girl. Listen to him.
She goes, be real, Jax. I need you to be real. She says that Jax also like was in a moment before they separated where he would rage text. And I was like, he was possessed by Melody.
Ciabatta
got into his brain.
No, Brittany goes, be real. As soon as I leave here today, you're going to get on text and call me horrible names and say horrible things.
I'm glad she's saying it in front of the camera, though.
Me too. I'm fucking team Brittany for life.
But the thing with him is he's such a lizard that he can't.
He's sick.
He doesn't have shame. Like
he's a sociopath.
In front of the camera, like he's not you would think one that
one might think
that if you blow up someone's spot like that in front of the camera, they'll like never do that again because then now they're like now the cat's out of the bag. But Jax doesn't care.
He's never cared.
He literally fucked a woman next to a woman that's a vegetable on hospice.
He fucked someone next to a dying woman.
Like he
has no scruples.
The scruples he has are not to be found.
Nunca. Niente.
I wrote he's a terrible man, a truly weak little bitch.
He is. All he cares about are huge jugs flopping in his face. They could just be jugs attached to a skeleton and he wouldn't care.
When he sees Brittany right now, he literally doesn't see anything.
But he doesn't even see her jugs because he's seen them too many times. He needs
true.
different jugs.
One jug, a different jug every 3 days.
Yeah. Once he's gotten enough of a certain pair of jugs, he's over it and it's on to the next jugs.
Brittany goes, what about this video? And she pulls up a Pat video of Jax saying, he goes, look, Brittany and I are separated, but we're actually living together.
I remember him saying that. We talked about that at a show.
Brittany goes, now you make it seem like I'm lying about the whole thing. And then she said that on House of Villains, Jax said that Brittany had a stroke.
I remember that too.
And everyone on the show, oh my God, oh. And she goes, why'd you say that? I never had a stroke. He's a liar.
He is crazy.
He's fully crazed.
She needs to go through with the divorce because I do think it will bring out the absolute unhinged nature of Jax, and we need to have that exposed for the world to see. It won't change he'll make more money and become more famous because of it, which is just the way it goes, but I need to see just truly how beastly he can get.
But Jax is also the kind of person that would he's like that dad in like a movie or a show where there's like a plot line of like he goes to work, but he doesn't actually go to work because he's been fired like for 5 months, but he says he goes to work. Like that's that kind of, do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Like
he would just lie like that. He's freaky.
He's really freaky.
And he goes, the men in, you know me, Brittany, the men in my family. I go, oh, you're the famous couchy man. He goes, the men in my family don't show emotion. You know that. And she goes, what? She goes, I'm the one that bottles all my emotions. She goes, you show all your emotion. She's basically like, you're the most emotional, like sensitive.
You're ruled by your emotions.
You literally show your emotions constantly. Brittany literally has developed acid reflux because she's been bottling her emotions so much.
I really am so glad that Brittany is seeing the light, and I do think that like she needed to go on this journey, even if it's causing her lots of pain. Like these were important lessons that she really needed to learn.
These were the best days
and I pray that she continues down and follows through, and sets her foot down.
They have this montage of them, like the course of their romance, and just seeing Brittany when she was young and tan and had hope and like was like natural.
Wearing teddies to a job interview.
It just seemed like she had a light in her.
She should have honestly known when her boyfriend took her to an alley that all was not what it seemed. He literally like proudly walked her into an alley where like Katie Maloney was sitting scowling. And you hear Sheena be like, has he asked you to have your babies yet? Sheena knew.
But
and she goes, yeah.
He also set her the fuck up with LVP the first meeting, and he didn't say like, don't wear that or like bring a resume. Lisa walks, what do you wear? She goes, oh.
What on earth is this?
Tell her to wear clothes next time. Like someone like her is not gonna respect you. Do you know what I mean?
She never has.
Yeah.
Maybe, although now I'm thinking about it, and I'll bet Kristen and Brittany actually didn't even hook up because he's such a liar. Like now I realize he would just say that.
Yeah, he's a liar.
Brittany was probably like throwing up, or Kristen was throwing up and Brittany was like helping her, or they were just like passed out somewhere.
Or it just never even happened. He's a crazy person.
I can't believe Brittany lasted this long with him. With a child. You know, Sherry is probably like, get him back. Do whatever Brittany, it takes to get him back.
What did I tell you? She goes, a woman doesn't do well when she shows herself. She goes, be good, keep sweet. Keep sweet, Brittany Jean.
I also loved when Brittany goes, he didn't leave. The man is supposed to leave. The man leaves the house. And I was like, honestly, unfortunately, modern feminism means that
he's so gross.
Sometimes a woman has to leave the house.
He would let, yeah.
Look, I think that Jax should leave. I think that fucking Sandoval should have left.
But Jax especially, like,
but place where your son... true pigs.
The place where your son is most comfortable and, like, has gotten familiar with and, like, he's going through a lot, like...
You should let him... You shouldn't be making a child leave the house.
He's a bad person.
He's a pig.
He's a pig man. Pig man.
These pig men...
Put him out of their misery.
But you know what? Their hog mistresses will have the last laugh.
Yeah.
The pig mamas laugh last.
They do.
And that's Brittany. That's Ariana. That's Katie. Ciabatta.
Michelle. We stand in solidarity with our mama.
This is a pig mama podcast, and the pig mamas will till the bitter end. And these men will rue the day.
I'm glad we stayed with the Valley till the bitter end.
I know, it was actually slayed.
I'm really bummed about no reunion, but we will be back with.
My God, can you even imagine next season will be even better? Yeah. They're just beginning, and now we need divorce.
Sheena and Lala.
And gays versus
straights.
I don't even know if Sheena and Lala are going to be brought over. I think that was getting dangled, but I don't know if it's actually going to happen. Who cares? We'll see. We don't even need Vanderpump to be good anymore because we have the Valley.
This is a good cast.
They're slaying.
I want one more chaos person, but
I think also I'm ready for Janet to be truly exposed.
Me too. Now that
like Kristen and Zach need to really put their heads together and do better next season, because like this was not doing what they thought it was doing.
Doute always finds a way.
Doute, it's time for her to go full Doute fucking Miami pedal girl. To the metal Miami girl style.
Recon.
And I think like I don't know if Luke will support that.
No. I don't know how long they have.
I think hopefully by the time cameras are done filming next season, they will have broken up.
And she'll be single Kristen.
And that is the Kristen that gets shit done.
Let's do a shout out to our
fucking ride or dies.
Ride or dies for the Valley.
Oh my God. Fucking Pia from Australia. Ride or fucking die. Alex Delisle. Rock and roll. Makeup fresh. DJ Brew Brew. Obviously. Rachel in Dublin. Sophie from fucking Cleveland. Cleveland's the birthplace of rock and roll.
Cleveland.
Emily Vaughn. Miss Ryan and Mr. Jillian, also from fucking Cleveland, the capital of rock. Gina Sapienza. Obviously. Sarah Elizabeth from Boston. I love the band Boston. They're fucking rock. Yeah. Lucy from London. Swingin' London, swingin' 60s. That's where the Who from. The Who fucking rocks. And I'm a rock and roll girl.
Era.
Brooke Johansson. Lilia Farrell. Rachel Knight. Gerd Queen of Brooklyn.
Fucking No Sleep Till Brooklyn.
Fucking Jessie Wessie, the marketer of Sup.
Fucking marketer.
Fucking Dilly McMillie.
Fucking Dilly.
Reminds me of Milli Vanilli, but they're not rock, but they're still fucking cool.
They're fucking punk.
Bridget Wasowski. Lady Swamp Witch gives no fucks.
I give a fuck about you, Lady Swamp Witch.
But I also don't give any fucks. Rock and roll. Jessica Hernandez. Molotov from New Rochelle.
Like a Molotov cocktail.
Yeah, fucking rock. Lit up. Throw it. Smashes. Explodes. Mary. Mike Earhart. Sharon Baum. Realtor.
To the stars.
Fucking Sharon Baum, help me get my fucking house back in Burbank because I lost that shit. Timothy Shield. Rogue Stanley.
Fucking Rogue.
Matthew Thomas. Owsley Robinson.
Fucking Owl.
Fucking Owsley. I fucking love the name Owsley. It's rock and roll.
Fucking Peepers.
Cheeseburger Bay. I'm fucking vegan. Shut up. Mariah K from SLC.
Fucking saltiest place in the world.
Kathy West.
Kathy East.
Kit Moore. Hillary from Chicago.
Fucking love Chi-Town.
Fucking Chi-Town and the band Chicago fucking rocks. Ordlanda. Patron of the Farts. David from Switzerland.
No neutral in this zone.
Nick Sedaris. Take a side, David.
Take a side for once in your life.
God, take a fucking stand. Be rock. Nick Sedaris. Kim Lucas. Jenny from Minneapolis. Fucking Midwest. We ride.
Hell yeah.
Katie the sup lawyer. I got a lawyer up.
Litigious as fuck.
RJ. Jeffrey Pradama.
Fucking Pradama. Guys, we'll be back with new. This summer is a summer of.
The summer is a summer, but we have figured out what we're doing next, but we're keeping it a little secret. TBD on what's going to happen next week for an episode, because we start our tour, so we might have to take next week off. And in which case, if we do take next week off of the regular episode, we will still release a bonus episode. So you should sign up for the Patreon right now. There's literally almost like 300 bonus episodes on there. Every episode gets uploaded ad-free. There's also video episodes that get released early and video bonus episodes. So it's a great place to tide you over in the event that we don't do a release, which we're leaning towards taking a week off and then starting a whole new series the coming week, we will do a bonus episode. We would never leave our patrons hanging. And
with that, stay tuned.
Yeah, come to our fucking shows next week. We hit Seattle fucking Nirvana style, and then we go up to Vancouver.
Van City, baby, till we die.
Love and light.
Bye.
Bye.